so hard in these mental health supported accommodation places to get time to really just gather your thoughts because the staff in these places just nag and nag and nag. Indeed, they have no idea about what it's like to have a mental illness. They just have a concept of how they think a human being should be, and they attempt to push it on you. Indeed, this is part of the eugenicist agenda. They claim not to be, but the people that run these mental health supported accommodation places are sanists. They don't want you to be crazy. They want you to be miserable and stressed and overworked, and most probably police informants and envious of your neighbour, just like the rest of the British population, it seems. Indeed, I've got to stop going on about the British population because there are a lot of people in Wiltshire who I hold quite close to my heart. And also, if I start going on about my dislike of British people and the current state of British culture, then people automatically assume I'm some sort of Russian spy, which I've already stated is not the case. That is just a delusion of mine. Indeed. It is, that is all it is. It is just a delusion of mine. Indeed, I feel an affinity to Russian mental patients. I don't have any allegiance to the Russian state. In fact, I am disgusted by the Russian control matrices of the Russian state, and the intelligence structure of Russia is absolutely sickening in its behavior much of the time. Indeed, I've been thinking recently about these closed cities in Russia. There are several closed cities that you can only enter if you're a member of the military or if you already live there, if you already reside in that particular closed city. People from the rest of Russia cannot go to these closed cities. Indeed, it seems to me that these cities are run by the Russian military intelligence, i.e., the GRU, and are most probably used for experimentation. Indeed, the majority of the residents are probably used in some sort of sonic weaponry and microwave weaponry experiments. And there are also most probably laboratories within these closed cities where mental patients are transferred to and then tested on with various new weapons that the Russian military wishes to develop. Indeed, much of the mind control programming of so called serial killers also probably goes on often in these closed cities, which seem to be overseen by the GRU. Indeed, the GRU, the Russian Military Intelligence Network, seems to consist of an assortment of very disgusting characters, just as the rest of the Russian intelligence structure. Indeed, the Russian intelligence structure seems to attract some of the most despicable human beings. Indeed, the networks of KGB psychiatrists that ran the mental hospitals during the Soviet era were effectively no different than the Nazi psychiatrists that ran the T4 program and later ran experimentation programs in the concentration camps. Indeed, there was no difference, and the Russian intelligence services created an army of schizophrenic ghosts who were basically sent around the country to cause chaos via programming. And this was to serve two purposes: one, to cover up for elite networks of psychopaths so they could pin the murders committed by these elite networks of psychopaths on this schizophrenic army of ghosts created in the mind control laboratories of the Project Stern program across the Russian mental hospital facility complex and the closed city laboratories. Indeed, the other purpose that this served was to increase the power of the Russian state. Indeed, having these maniacs, as they are termed in Russia, having these maniacs running around the country doing crazy stuff, made the population ask the government for more security and more controls to ensure that security. Thereby, the state was able to impose itself more. Indeed, it seems that a similar situation is occurring in the United Kingdom at the moment, with a number of some high profile and some lower profile murders carried out by schizophrenics. Indeed, these schizophrenics that are carrying out these murders are not doing it of their own volition, they are doing it because they are being programmed to do it by mind control programmers working for the intelligence services. So, this public backlash against paranoid schizophrenics that is occurring in the United Kingdom at the moment is ridiculous, really, because as I've stated before, the paranoid schizophrenic is not naturally inclined to murder people. Indeed, most of the time, paranoid schizophrenics are actually the victims of violence themselves, not the perpetrators. Indeed, this wave of murders carried out by schizophrenics serves two purposes. Also, one, it covers up the murders committed by elite networks of psychopaths, and two, it allows the state to introduce greater security measures. So, this is an exact situation copied from the Soviet Union. So, what is happening in the United Kingdom is a direct equivalent of what happened in the Soviet Union. The same techniques are being used by the intelligence services for exactly the same aims to cover up networks of elite psychopaths and their serial killings, mass tortures, ritual abuse, etc. And these are interconnected networks of Masonic lodges carrying out these activities. And the other purpose is to implement greater state security structures and surveillance mechanisms. Indeed, I had a rather controversial theory on the release of the Epstein files. Indeed, it seems that due to the emotional nature of the human mind, most people who heard about the Epstein files, which is the majority of the population, immediately started emphasizing solely the sexual element regarding the Epstein files case. Indeed, I had a theory that this particular aspect of the Epstein files, and indeed this rabbit hole goes much deeper than the sexual element, but the sexual element was propagated to the public in view of the fact that the state, i.e., the security services and the police, could roll out stricter surveillance measures and much more complex surveillance measures, claiming that they are using these surveillance measures to target child molesters, when they are actually using these surveillance techniques to surveil the whole population to keep control. So they are basically claiming to be doing things in the public's benefit, but are actually implementing a much harsher surveillance structure. Indeed, that's a rather controversial theory, but it's a theory I was having nevertheless. Indeed, I also theorized that the release of the Epstein files was to basically coordinate public opinion that the Frankists were behind the overall global conspiracy. Indeed, with focus on Epstein's connections to the Mossad, people would immediately jump to the conclusion that the Hebrews are running the show. And this is exactly what the intelligence services of the United Kingdom would like the population of the United Kingdom to believe. And this will lead to a lot of anti Semitic unrest potentially. So, this serves an agenda and seems to be part of the overall creation of dialectics in view of the creation of a coming hybrid UK civil war scenario, something which I have theorized on many times on this video diary. Indeed, returning to the Project Sturm mind control programming in the Soviet Union and later the Russian Federation, it seems that the psikhushkas, the psychiatric hospitals in Russia, have always been used against anyone who basically becomes dangerous enough independently to the political system. Indeed, these psychiatric hospitals are used as a way of stifling political dissent, and many people without mental health disorders are placed in psychiatric hospitals in the Russian Federation as they were in the Soviet Union. And the psychiatrists diagnose these people with something called sluggish schizophrenia, which was a Soviet invented diagnosis, which basically means that anyone who is seeking truth or justice must have a paranoid and disordered way of thinking. This is the way that the Soviet psychiatrists were basically thinking at the time, and this was their way of stifling troublesome individuals. Indeed, I have also theorized that there is a cosmic war going on between Freemasons and schizophrenic mental patients, and this is reflected even in the nature of the supported accommodation setup that I'm living in. Indeed, I seem to dive into rabbit holes with everything, and indeed, the way that this supported mental health accommodation is run is that they are basically constantly attempting to remold your personality and basically take away your individuality, your confidence, and your creativity, and basically turn you into a slave of the corporations. That is all these mental health supported accommodation places are set up to do. They are not set up as places for mental patients to live in security and safety. That is not what these buildings are about. Indeed, the whole system is geared towards eugenics and sanism. And these supposed mental health charities that run these houses are usually run by eugenicists connected to the Masonic lodges. So, in a kind of strange explanation there, it all links up. Indeed, returning to the Epstein file scenario that I was speaking of, whereby the police will say they are rolling out stricter surveillance measures so that they can stop child molesters, is very interesting considering the Masonic networks of the police are themselves heavily involved with child trafficking rings and the prostitution of children. Indeed, the police are basically running the majority of the child trafficking and child prostitution networks in the United Kingdom, with logistic support provided by the intelligence services. As I've explained in other videos, indeed, it's all a rather strange entanglement. Indeed, the rape gang phenomenon, as I've explained in a previous video also, the police are making way too much money off of the rape gang phenomenon to ever have any wish to shut it down. Indeed, they are also so deep into involvement with the rape gang phenomenon that any revelations would cause the public to lose complete faith in their institutions. And the Masonic police force cannot afford for this to happen because their power could begin to wane. And all of these rape gangs are basically interconnected with organized crime syndicates who are themselves paying tribute to the UK police. It's all coordinated by the British intelligence services at the top, but the organized crime syndicates that are organizing the rape gangs through clan structures, these are all paying tribute to the police. Indeed, they also provide the digital tapes of the sexual acts carried out in the rape gang phenomenon, and they provide copies to the police for both the police's personal pleasure and also for the police to distribute and sell. Indeed, the rape gang phenomenon is enormously lucrative for the UK police. So all of these so-called investigations into the rape gang scandal are all just charades for the public. Indeed, there is no real investigation into it, and the police know everything about it anyway, but they are coordinating it. So it's basically how it is, it seems. It's quite a sad state of affairs. This country is a mess, and I'm going to leave it there.